Morning class, it's Coach Day, and today's video is going to be going factoring polynomials using a greatest common factor. So you should know what greatest common factor is. It's the largest number we can divide out of two or more numbers. Let's do a quick review over distribution though. We know if we've got a number outside of parentheses touching a number touching the parentheses, that means multiply. So we know if you see something like this, you're just going to do 3 times 2, which would be 6. Well, remember, whenever you have a number on the outside and then it's times a letter, you're just doing whatever that number is outside times the letter inside. And remember, if there's a letter and there's nothing written in front of it, it's just that sneaky 1. So 3 times 1 is 3, and then we had an a left over, so that would be 3a. If you have something like this, where you have a number and a letter inside, you're going to multiply the numbers first. 3 times 3, so we're still doing distribute. 3 times 3 is 9, and then we just have that a left over, so it's 9a. Or, what if we had something like this? 3a parentheses 3a. Well, you're still going to start out with the numbers. So you're going to multiply this 3 times 3, which is 9. And now you're going to do a times a. Now, whenever you multiply with letters, what you're going to do is just add their exponents. So that has an exponent of 1, that has an exponent of 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So it's 9a to the second. So let's write that note in here just so we remember. Add exponents when multiplying variables. Now, it's only when they have the same variable, and we'll get into a few instances where we'll have different letters, and we cannot use that. Okay? All right, let's look at our examples now. Sorry, we're going to do 2 more. What if I had something like 3 times a plus 2? Well, we're still going to distribute. This one's going to be 3 times 1a, which is 3a, and then 3 times 2, which is 6. So that would be our answer. Or if we had 3 parentheses 3a plus 2, once again, just multiply the numbers first. 3 times 3, which is 9, and then 3 times 2, which is 6. So each time you're multiplying whatever outside by everything inside, numbers first, letters second. If they have the same letter, you add the exponents, okay? Let's try it with our first example. I've got a times 3a plus 7. Well, a times 3a, that goes first. 3 times 1 is just, because there's that sneaky 1, right? That's just going to be 3, and then I have 1a there and 1a there. So I have 2, because 1 plus 1 is 2, so that's a to the second. Now multiplying 1a times 7, which is just going to be listed as 7a. Even though this one didn't have a letter, you put the letter after the number because that's the proper way to write it. So our answer here is 3a squared plus 7a. Now, let's try the same one, or let's do the same thing on the next example. Negative 2m times m squared. Well, negative 2 times 1 is still negative 2. Now m to the first times m to the second, there's 1, 2, 3, so that's going to be m to the third. And now we're going to do negative 2 times the 6m, negative 2m times 6m. Well, numbers first, negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. And then 1m there, and there's 1m here, so that's going to be m to the second. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Then we're going to do negative 2m times negative 1. Negative times negative is a positive. 2 times 1 is 2. And there's 1m, and there's no m's there, so that just gets an m. So this is negative 2m to the third minus 12m squared plus 2m. Last one. Now this one has 2 letters, so be careful when you distribute this. First, 5xy times just that x. So that's sneaky 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Now, there's 1x here, there's 1x here, and there's 1y. We only add the variables that are the same. So I've got 1, 2, so that's going to be x to the second. And then I have 1y, so that's just going to be 1y. Now, I'm going to do 5 times negative 2y. So 5 times negative 2 is going to be negative 10. There's 1x, there's no more x's, so list my x down. And then I have 1y here and 1y here. 1 plus 1 is 2, so y to the second. So we would get 5x squared y minus 10xy squared. I'm going to stop the video here. We're going to continue on the next video.